Next time you're stressed, close your eyes and listen to this. It really helps. Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Chrono Trigger. Last time, we started the game back up, ran through the Black Omen and killed Zeal 2 more times just for fun. Went alien hunting. Went into the extras, went to the theater, made fun of the artwork, briefly demonstrated the music box, saw the complete tech list, the bestiary, the ending log, the item list, treasure map, started New Game Plus, which by the way, they invented. Talked about some unused content from the early parts, sucked up to Boundary Break, rode the ferry, went to the Millennium Fair, picked up Marl's planet before helping her, god damn it. Found out Lava's got to see the fun after all. Marl got set through time, we went after her, ceased existing. Went to Manolia Cathedral to find her ancestor, met 2 useless soldiers, killed 5 guys who were just singing in the church, saved her life from a guy who had spawned 13 generations, got out of the death penalty, ran away to the future, found everything sucks, raced the man, heard about some unseen credit sections, met a sitting robot who almost died, but thankfully will live with us, ended up at the end of time, beat the Master of War in a duel, making him not skip cardio day anymore. It was a full day. This time, since we have reached the end of time and our next goal is to reach Antiquity so that we can start showing off the new features for the DS version, we're going to continue the journey by going off to Medina Village, through Hekran Cave, and then to Truce again. In Truce Inn, underneath one of these beds, is a pair of knives you can never collect or ever see normally. Shoddy craftsmanship or developer in-joke. At the market, Elaine must be down at the pier again. That Fritz, where could he be? Hello there, what can I do for you? This is what the shop would be like if Fritz was left to the guillotine. His family doesn't find out about it. It's actually really sad. I disabled the music by going back out to the overworld before a jingle was done playing. Huh. And there it came back, yeah. 2,371 damage from the Crisis Arm! On the same enemy, a critical hit out of Chrono didn't do as much. I like how realistic this lighting is. I just wanted to pause this really quick. Look at Chrono's head and Luca's legs to see what I'm talking about. Finally, the first speed capsule. I've been getting every capsule along the way. I've already showed you how to get them, so that's why I'm not going through them again, but just know that I am doing that because we need them. I still don't like the part after you get the broken Masamune. I went and go talk to Tata, and I went to go talk to Frog, and because I didn't do the 2 in the correct order, I went to Melchior, and he wasn't there, and you get the cutscene that says, hey, just when we needed him the most, he's here, so it implies that you're on the right track, but you're not, and I can never remember the exact order you have to do things in. It's just not well telegraphed. Even though I just did it about a month ago, I still didn't remember exactly the sequence of events that needed to be done. Oh, this part. This'll stick in my memory now for all the wrong reasons when it was just mundane before. I've said my piece on prehistory probably being my least favorite time period, but I still like it, and it's kind of a shame that there aren't that many topics related to it we haven't already been over, so we're only going to get to see a tiny snippet of it in all these clips. There is an unused location with relevancy to it, but it's more relevant to another part of the game and thus not getting talked about here. What I can tell you about is the prototype of Chrono Trigger that I've talked about before has many unused enemies in it that didn't make it into the final game. Many are simple palette swaps of enemies that we did get, or the same enemies with slightly different stats due to game balance. But some noteworthy ones are this really cute blue Kiwala. It goes by the name of Moeki, and I wish we got this because I prefer it to the standard white design that we saw in every location. Maybe it would have been for Antiquity, and thus the blue coloration would have made it blend in better with the icy stuff. Not sure. Then there's a very silly unused enemy simply referred to as Triceratops. It looks really doofy and doesn't fit in with anything else. It's strangely a pretty straightforward play on the idea of a baby Triceratops. Makes sense why it was cut, but it's still funny. I can finally just rush through this horrible place and only have to fight the enemies like 3 times. It's beautiful. Oh, and I get to slash off his horn as he dies crying for a mercy. Oh my god, this is where we got our first level up of this entire playthrough. In Fiendlord's Keep, I don't think I ever corrected this. The enemy !!!!!! is in the bestiary, just under a different name. It's just called Save Point. I was right that it had some oddity with the bestiary, just not anywhere remotely correct on the specifics. The better of the two comic relief villains. It's all downhill from here. You have such personality, a fun design, cool powers. You actually do come off as being legitimately powerful and dangerous when you need to be. But you're still really funny. There's something that I think every single person in the world except me knew because many people told me about this. Apparently using Slurp Slash on one of the levers in the Aussie fight does something. Because it's anchored down and Frog hitting it spins it. We must give thanks to our Lord and Savior. Well, games are a massive collaborative effort, but Meets It is the first person who came to mind, even though he had nothing to do with the graphics or game planning. I guess it's just kind of what happens when music sets the mood. Well, it's official. I can only ever do this for every other playthrough of this game I ever do for the rest of time. I refuse to touch these levers any other way. That's so clever that they thought of this. Hi. Your mom's gonna kill me, and you're gonna say that my death is meaningless, but it's okay, because we'll be best friends in about 2 weeks. You know what this means? First time there's ever an opportunity for this. Luminaire on Magus! Oh, this is gonna feel so good. Stretch those arms, get all the air out from between those joints, and just let her rip. 3,900 damage with his defenses up. So glad that I've been spending all those magic tabs on Chrono here. He didn't do anything, actually. Can I just use it again? Because he didn't change his barrier. Another 3, that's it. He didn't even start charging up for dark matter. Could you choose a smarter place to stand, Luca? Ayla has the excuse of being a Neanderthal, but you're a lot better than that, Luca. Now you too, Chrono? Let's say you meet the basic requirements of being human. You breathe air, you drink water, you can't listen to enough Chrono Trigger music. I've got a solution for you. It sounds like a sponsored piece now that I'm saying this out loud, but I swear it's not the case. For the 20th anniversary of Chrono Trigger, Square Enix in Japan released an official album of new arrangements of Chrono Trigger music that had input from Yasunori Mitsuda. There's wonderful arrangements, lyrics, and vocals by Laura Shigihara, who I'm sure you know from many different games, including To the Moon, Plants vs. Zombies, so many other things. And even Sarah Elaine of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 fame. There's lots and lots of great Chrono Trigger fan music projects. I just wanted to give this one attention due to it being official, consisting of so many great minds that had made Chrono Trigger music over the years on their own before even this. There's a link to where you can find it below. A detail I unfortunately missed in one of the best scenes. Talking to Janice says, just go away. I talked to Janice several times trying to get him to say something else, because I knew that there was one other line here, but it's actually the cat. Don't waste your time. Alphador only likes me. Aw. Yeah, because Janice kind of answers for him. I thought that was a line that he would say if he talked to him, and I didn't think to talk to the cat. There's another weird thing about this room. Over by where I'm standing right now, if I could walk through that bookcase that's right in front of me over to the other one, there's a teleporter in there that transports you inside one of the endings, but with the camera in the wrong place. It's very strange. A lot of people thought maybe it was a remnant from an unused ending or something. What that actually is a dropped feature where there was going to be a secret passage out of Zeal Palace that you would use to escape once Dalton had found you out, rather than just simply being exiled by the Prophet. There's hints of this in the prototype, but the map no longer exists in the final, and the teleporter just happens to lead to that scene now. After my simply shameful showing, for lack of better alliteration, I wanted to redeem myself on this one, because wow, I would be very crappy if I couldn't do it under these circumstances. So we'll get a magic capsule out of it. It imitates physical attacks, and basically you just gotta keep pelting it with attacks, different elemental attacks at least, so fast that it can't keep up. There it was able to counter. Only did about 200 damage, so we'll do Luminaire with Chrono, we'll do a physical attack with Ayla, and then Marl, you can use some form of ice. I normally would set up a haste just to kind of keep things going fast, but we got enough speed, we can handle it. Copies Light Tech, now copies Physical Attack, now it'll be Ice, now it'll be Luminaire again, now it'll be Physical. It's just getting it stuck in a loop so that it can't keep up with you because it doesn't counter right away. It just merely sets up for its next turn to copy whatever it is you just did. Blurp, Mimic Dalton. What a horrible fate to have. Mimicking Dalton as the last thing before you die. Being in that guy's shadow. 1,000 experience points, 2,000 G. Pretty easy, actually. Oh, my poor Golem. You'll pay for that. Fear not. I won't kill you. Not immediately, that is. I'll allow you to sample every type of pain and fear imaginable first. By the time we're through, you'll be begging us to end your suffering. Ah, what a delicious diversion. The rest of the scene is indistinguishable from a loss. Man, Janice, even when you were 5 years old, you were still insulting us at every turn. If there's anything else that I can say about all this, I have a story. I was pronouncing Janice's name as Yanis all these years, and let's just say that after I showed that video to some people and asked their opinions, they all told me that I'm gonna have people very upset with me if I didn't change it to Janice, so it was a very fun day of trying to seamlessly post-commentate every single instance of saying that in the entire video, and as you can imagine, that was a lot. It was one of the more miserable experiences I had putting together a video for this. Finally, we have reached Antiquity and have the ability to do everything possible in the Arena of Ages. So this begins our first foray into DS-exclusive content. And I want to say so far, New Game Plus is great if you just want to see different outcomes of the story or test out little things. I have been getting every capsule along the way. We have made it all the way to 12,000 BC, gone through it once, and my playtime is only a little over 5 hours, and that's with me leaving the game on in between doing stuff occasionally. Here we go, Beyond the Flow of Time. Man, the end of time is year infinity, and this is beyond even that. Now you're just trying too hard to sound cool. What is this place? Oh, is this your first visit? Welcome to the Arena of the Ages. This Colosseum hosts battles between monsters from all across time. I'm the Stable Master. Come over here, will ya? You want a rundown of the place? Sure. These are monster stables. We raise them up strong here. Even monsters need training if they want to be tough. What do we train them for, you ask? Why, fighting, of course. Then we set them against each other in the pit. If you want to stage a fight, then you gotta talk to that guy over there in the armor. That blue-faced fellow with the winsome smile, he's a merchant. There are a lot of specialized items we use for training and battling beasts, and he deals in the tools of the trade. You'll want to talk to him later on. Well, that's the meat and bones of it. You'll catch on quick, don't you worry. Oh, one more thing, though. This is important. Time flows a little differently here. Might call it a different dimension altogether. If you came from the end of time, that old man can probably keep things straight for you. But if you came from anywhere else, everything that happened here will be washed away the second you leave. If you don't want that to happen, best save your progress over there before you go. I wasn't sure what he was talking about when he said this. It's because you can access the Arena of Ages from the title screen, and he doesn't want you losing save data because, you know, you didn't actually save while you were in the Arena of Ages and just turned the game off. Whereas if you're entering it while playing the game itself from the end of time, your save data is essentially shared with that file. If you came from somewhere else, I'll add a note of what happened last record you made whenever and wherever that was. It'd be more convenient for you anyway, wouldn't it? It's not really clear that you can go here from other areas besides the end of the time. I remember the first time that I saw this, I thought maybe you could access it from some other area I wasn't aware of, and then when I found out that wasn't the case, I was just confused by it. Have you earned your monster's trust? If monsters don't trust you very much, it probably won't use the items you give it in battle. Has your monster learned any techs yet? Mine finally learned a fire tech. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I got that itch. How about you scratch me? They're little baby news! Or maybe they're the awkward cousins of that happy pink guy in the Dark World and Link to the Past. So what he's saying here is that the color determines the magical element that they'll be using. They're just smidges now. Itsy bitsy monsters, but go ahead, take your pick. Which one do I like best? I like purple as a color a lot. The blue one's pretty cute, though. This one's eyes just scare me. I love being purple! One more thing. Here is a little gift for you. Monster Trainer Starter Kit. Obtain... We'll go over what those do later. So all these things are important. If you need to give a monster an item for it to carry with it before sending it out for training, the one you give it will determine the outcome of its efforts. You can also pass items to your monster during duels in the pit, you know, to help the critter out. If you run out, buy more from the merchant over there. Best to stock up in advance, though. Oh, and I suppose I should explain a bit about training, too. If you decide to send your monster out for training, you'll have to choose an era. Sending it to different eras will cause it to grow in different ways. Of course, you can only send it to time periods you've already visited, so if you want your monster to progress in its training, you'd best progress with your quest. All right, let's take a look at how strong it is. Not too great. Okay. You're not gonna let me do any of these options yet? You're just gonna talk to me some more. You can tell which tutorials were written in the 2000s. If you ever want to take a closer look at your monster's abilities or send it out for some training, just come talk to me. I was already talking to you, and I wanted to send it out for training the first time I went into this menu, because why wouldn't I? I won't get so uptight. So, yeah. You can look at this pretty background. That was necessary, dedicating a third of the screen real estate to. Okay, I said I wouldn't get so uptight. You can set the monster free if you don't want it anymore. And then, of course, we can send it out to train. Based on the era, it determines... oh, we're going to give it some items here. Okay. Well, I guess we can see what these items do now. Slops will boost the max HP. Flame Claw will give it fire techs and make it more like... Flame Claw teaches it fire techs. Sea Fang is water techs. Dusky is shadow techs. Luxwing is light techs. Hawk Talon enhances offensive capabilities. Shield Cloaked enhances defensive capabilities. Feral Wrath, think of it like a chance of evolution. Some of these effects work differently if they are given to them during a fight rather than during training. I think I'm probably just going to... I'll give them stuff to learn tax. So let's try the Dust Guy. Prehistory will enhance its speed. Antiquity is Tex. Middle Ages is Strength. Present is Max HP. And Future is Accuracy and Stamina. I wanted to wait for this because, like you said, you cannot go to Antiquity for training, and that's kind of unfortunate because learning new techs in this can take a very, very long time without going to Antiquity. That's what I was so worried about. So we're going to go there first. Suck him in against his will! Off to another time period where he will never see anyone ever again! Unless I deem it so. Your monster's safely on its way. I take it you'll be off again as well. Your little darling should return before too long. Give it some time and then check back then. The reason why I chose Shadow Tex is because this battle system has somewhat of a same type attack bonus. If an ability matches your monster's own element, then it will do more damage. There's also weaknesses and resistances. They work the same way as they do in the normal battle system. And what I'm gonna do here is hop on the font and leave. I love calling this thing a font. Whenever the monsters go off for training, it takes 10 minutes of playing the game for them to come back. So don't save, quit, and, you know, reload the game or whatever 10 minutes later on the DS's clock. No, the game has to be running for those 10 minutes. Went off and played carnival games for a while just to do something productive with my time. That's the best thing about being able to time travel at will. Every day is the day of the fair. Alright, well, we'll check in on the guy. He's still a little shiny bald head. So we can see how his stats have changed. Some stats have gone down while others have gone up. It's kind of strange, but yeah, basically you're kind of outfitting them to be good at a specific thing rather than just being all ultimately powerful. So rather than train them again, I thought maybe this time we could actually see some fighting. This must be your first time, no? This is the pit, where monsters put their training to the test. Want to see how strong the one you've raised is? I like how this guy's called the pit boss. You can let it fight another one of the monsters in a prize match, or send it against the opponent's monsters in an interdimensional battle via DS wireless communications. So all fights in the pit are one-on-one matches between the monsters. Each monster will attack the opponent automatically. You can't issue commands, but you can support your monster to help it give it a fighting chance. Pass your monster the right item at the right time, and it can use it to unleash abilities it knows or heal its wounds. Your monster won't necessarily use an item you give it right away, though. Once you give it an item to the monster, it's gone for good, even if the monster never uses it. Suddenly, it makes sense why they were so generous in giving us all of them. You can always pass your monster a new item, even if it's already holding one, but if you do, the old item will be lost for good, so always think carefully when giving it to it. Best luck to you. We'll just go for a regular prize match. Just select the tier and I'll sign you up. Higher tiered battles have higher entrance fees but offer better prizes. But entrance will usually be stronger. Which tier would you like to compete in? Of course, we're just going to go for the lowest one. So, as you beat higher tiers and do better and get stronger and all that stuff, there are more and more tiers all the way up to tier 6. But only 3 tiers are selectable from the menu at a time, meaning that when tier 4 is unlocked, tier 1 can no longer be entered and so on and so forth. We'll go ahead and enter. Oh, this song! Yes! Okay. This is an unused track from the original game known as Battle 2. I don't know if this feature was planned out right, but this seems to be a boss theme that was going to be in the original game, and it was just cut. It's great. I'll let you listen to it. Dramatic. It's so good. Our enemy used a shadow tech against us, and there are weaknesses and resistances in this. You have an innate, just like your party members, you have an innate, you have an innate resistance to whatever your own element is, and you are weak to the opposite of it. So I'd be in trouble if I was hit by a light tech, but I didn't take much damage because it was a shadow tech. Attacks happen automatically, and these items kinda sorta have different effects in battle. So slops, rather than giving more max HP during training, they now restore small amounts of HP. We've seen our foe do that a little. These items that are meant for teaching techs, instead they will enable a monster to use the tech in exchange for using the item. The Hawk Talon will temporarily boost strength in battle. Shield Cloak will reduce physical damage by 1/3, so essentially a Guardian Helm. And then Feral Wrath will make critical hits hit for 4 times damage instead of double. Haha, you suck so bad your magical attack missed. Come on, stop healing. This should be it. These battles can take a very, very long time. Oh, critical! When I didn't even need it anymore. It knew my name because it looked at my system profile, you stalker! We obtain an Athenian water for winning. There's all sorts of prizes that can be won from battle. Some are materials like mid potions, high potions, ethers, and even elixirs. Some prizes are normally limited equipment, such as getting another headband. Others are just equipment from early game stores. It's even possible to win strength, speed, and magic capsules, even in low-tier fights. Of course, the items get better as you go up the ladder, but this is a renewable way to get capsules outside of the Black Omen. Losses will always give a regular potion. If we go to the new, buy. The items are surprisingly affordable. Just, 100 to 500 depending on what it is you're buying. Pretty easy, actually. The prizes aren't as different in the higher tiers as one would expect. The priced pools are basically the same, but what does get exciting about the higher tiers is exclusive equipment to this mode. There's the Hadean Mirror, which is an accessory for Magus, giving him back his counterattack that he had in his boss fight. He counters everything but shadow magic, but it only works 25% of the time, so it's not quite as strong as it was before. There's the Pontic Mirror, equipable to Frog and Marl, which counters all attacks but water magic. The Promethean Mirror for Luca, Robo is screaming somewhere, counters all but fire magic. The Uranian Mirror, which just sounds hilarious, is for Chrono, counters all but light. The Arisian Mirror is for Ayla and Robo, countering all but physical. And the last piece of equipment, the new Arcana, is an accessory that rarely activates and makes your attack behave like a new, where you hit for all but 1 damage. I'm gonna set it up for training once more, and I'm thinking the Hawk Talon this time because it was taking so long to win a fight. Well, he's got good magic, he just doesn't know any techs yet, so maybe I don't need to do that. Setting him up for training once more. I think I'll go for the Dusk Eye again. He's got a good magic stat, and I want him to start learning tech, so we'll go to Antiquity. Evolution is random. It's just a matter of raising trust, giving it feral wraths when you want it to evolve, crossing your fingers when sending it off for training. Nothing more complicated than that. It can take a while to get an evolution unless you're specifically trying for it, and there's so many different branching paths that a monster can go down that I don't think I could really show you all of them here, but know that they evolve into monsters that you have seen throughout your travels. All monsters start out as these little baby news in their larval forms. I've already gone down a branching path by choosing the Shadow Smidge, so if I were to send it to prehistory, it would become Eraser. In Antiquity, it would become a Stone Imp, which is what I'm working on right now. Middle Ages, it'd be a Deep Ogun. Present time, it would be a Royal Guard, and in the future, it would become a Lancer. Monsters will evolve 3 times, giving them 4 total forms across their life, and the ultimate forms are the Chrysosaur for prehistory, the Spirit Gargoyle for Antiquity, the Ninja for Middle Ages, Medusa for present time, and Death Scythe for the future. Since so much of this is randomly generated based on luck and just a matter of giving it an item and crossing your fingers, there's not a whole lot to really show, unfortunately, because of just how you don't really have much impact over what goes on. It's sending it off to training so that you can wait for it to come back, so that then it can go into fights where you just kind of watch it battle for 3 minutes. I'll go ahead and jump in the pit one more time and we'll see what we can do. Best thing about this mode, hands down, well, okay, I can't really decide between the cute animations and getting to hear this song, but you know what I mean. We have a Light Imp this time, so that's kind of bad. We'll go ahead and give him a Dusk Eye as an item. Headbutt. Miss. Your entire body is your head. What's your deal? Yeah, the other problem is that, generally speaking, the opponents have very high trust, and they keep giving them healing items, and they just constantly heal, so it takes forever to make any progress. If your trust isn't high, your guy's not going to use their items as soon as you give it to them. It takes them a while to kind of fight with themselves and hum and haw over whether they should use it. They don't have a whole lot of belief in you or in the ability to win, so it's just really kind of annoying. As you can see, oh, Shadow Smidge knows, oh, I don't know any shadow-based techs. Okay, so I can't really use that. I thought it was like an item where you just use it. We'll boost the critical damage. Or, no we won't. Okay, there we go. Can't do it during an attack animation. That's just not even fun. There's gym leaders using full restores every time you get them below a quarter HP. But instead, you're sitting there spamming potions when you have 90% of your HP. Come on. This is what I mean by these fights taking forever and it just kind of being a war of attrition of who can throw enough slops at their guy to outlast the other one. Thankfully, it seems like it'll all be over soon. Finally, I get a critical hit. You gonna heal that off too as soon as I do it? Color me impressed. If you're listening to me, I guess the color of impression is purple. Oh, but he did heal the next turn after that. Perfect. I momentarily got to see the beauty that was having him in triple-digit HP. Oh, we might actually... Yeah, we get to see it again. Oh, no, only for a moment. It's a rare and majestic sight. And he's healed... What is this? He's healing for more damage than I can do because I haven't learned techs yet. I get biting up more than you can chew by entering the higher tiers and having to learn your lesson, but this is ridiculous how much it's healing. Look at my Smidge's face while he's celebrating. And it plays the people who lost the will to live as the song. Wow, there's a lot of really good humor in this mode, intentional or not. That's everything that the Arena of Ages has to offer. I don't see the point in making you sit through tons and tons of automated fights just because there's not a whole lot more to it than that. And I don't have any control over the actions aside from just, you know, tossing slops at my guy for an hour until the other guy stops tossing slops at his guy. It's an alright mode. I haven't meant to complain so much. I like that there's so much customization in it, and it gives you kind of a side activity to do whenever you just happen to be stopping in at the end of time. That's what they intended it for, I'm sure, was every time you stop in the end of time, check on your monster when you're just kind of taking a break from everything else and healing up, and it gives you something kind of fun to do for about 2 minutes. And then you can send them off for training again and repeat the process. Kind of like, you know, a mobile game on recharge, but without constantly nickel and diming you all the time. Anyway, that's all for now. Next time on Chrono Trigger, we die. See you guys then.